It's to be the biggest thing that has ever flown, the supergiant of all the things that have ever risen into the skies. The Germans are out to exceed all of their Zeppelin achievements. Here's the LZ-129. Dr. Hugo Echner will be her skipper, the world's foremost navigator of Zeppelins. He'll pilot a ship 800 feet long as the Normandy, nearly as long as the Empire State Building is tall. 7 million cubic feet of hydrogen, 5,000 horsepower, 85 miles an hour, and she'll accommodate 50 passengers in her giant cabins. The catwalk, a long stroll for anybody's cat. This is on the shores of Lake Constance, where airship inventor Graf Zeppelin built the first of his sky giants years ago. Nearing completion, she'll navigate the sky on the transatlantic run to South America. Mammoth King Zepp. Off on her sky voyaging career, the greatest of airships makes a mammoth tour of Germany. From her home port at Friedrichshafen north, there's Ulm on the Danube. Sky travel nowadays is no bar to luxury at the bar. A companion, the older and smaller Graf Zeppelin, and the battlefield at Tannenberg, the tomb of von Hindenburg, this ship named after him. We're steering westward to the capital, Berlin. There's the Olympic Stadium, where the games will be staged in the summer amid spectacular pomp and ceremony. Germany is now in a state of excitement. The election, the plebiscite to approve of the rearming of the Rhine. The von Hindenburg and the other ships of the Zeppelin fleet are out electioneering. Steering with precise navigation and expert command, it's on to the Rhine, to Cologne and its renowned cathedral with the twin spires. Here's where the goose-stepping of advancing regiments brought on that recent European crisis. Over the Rhineland, the rearming of which is the subject of the election, to the shouts of vast enthusiasm. And now the next voyage of the von Hindenburg, across the Atlantic to South America and back, and then a trip to New York. Greatest of airship voyages comes to a triumphant close. The Hindenburg arrives at the Naval Air Station, Lakehurst. At the bow, water ballast is discharged for landing, and at the stern. 61 hours and 29 minutes after leaving Friedrichshafen, Germany, she comes to her American mooring mast. A trip of 3,895 miles with 106 air passengers and crew aboard. There's Commander Hugo Echner, Dean of Airship Skippers. The passengers at the windows remind you of the rail of an ocean liner. The sky giant moves slowly into the hangar while hundreds of visitors watch. She is 812 feet long. That leaves a clearance of only 11 inches between her bow and stern and the ends of the hangar. Acting Captain Lehman surrounded by reporters. From this veteran of the air, they get the story of a flight that has aroused worldwide admiration. For the first time, the Hindenburg soars above New York City in daylight and is filmed over the metropolis for the first time. The airy sky giant that is the Hindenburg, observed from the canyon that is Broadway. Sixth voyage to the United States, but on previous trips, the Hindenburg sailed across New York at night or at dawn. Today, a stiff wind is blowing, too gusty for the great gas bag to land at Lakehurst, New Jersey. So all day long, before landing at evening, she circles, roaming as far south as Washington and loafing over the towers and turrets of Manhattan.
year ago that New Yorkers first beheld the silvery spectacle of Germany's luxury airliner Hindenburg soaring majestically past Manhattan skyline, having spanned the North Atlantic in the record-shattering time of 61.5 hours from its hangar at Friedrichshafen to its American port of call at Lakehurst, New Jersey. Today, with veteran Captain Ernest Lehman aboard in an advisory capacity, the greatest lighter-than aircraft ever built nears the completion of her 21st Atlantic crossing, her first of this year. Encountering storms and headwinds during this ill-fated voyage, the giant dirigible noses toward the Lakehurst mooring mast today, having just ridden out a brief electrical disturbance, and now that the wind has subsided, she releases ballast, preliminary to easing her vast hulk into the hands of the Navy's ground crew, awaiting the landing lines by which she is gently drawn to earth. Her 50 passengers impatient, eager to arrive at a journey's end. Scarcely 300 feet above the ground now, portholes open, landing lines are thrown. Hovering so close to Earth, one is impressed by her mammoth size, her great framework encasing 7 million cubic feet of highly inflammable hydrogen. Careful maneuvering by expert hands have all but warped her into the hangar. Motors are idling. All seem ship-shape to the scurrying crew below, and suddenly... less time than it takes to tell, the scene is one of horror, as the ship has slowly sagged to earth and the flames have enveloped the entire structure, many of those aboard having jumped to escape cremation. Estimate of its toll in human life stands at 50 dead, with many of the 50 persons pulled from the flames not expected to live. A nightmare of 20 seconds. Incredible it seems that the specter of death could stalk so quickly, so completely. For here in this appalling tragedy is written the worst disaster in aviation history.